Hello everybody, my name is Juan Bernardo Gachet and this is my final video presentation for the English Level 7 class. First I would like to tell you a little bit about what each of the paragraphs on my final essay are about. My essay talks about the differences and similarities between Mexican drug cartels and Colombian guerrillas. So my first paragraph is sort of an introduction, first talking about why are the cartels and guerrillas important in Mexico and in Colombia and in Latin America, really. Um, and then in the same paragraph of the introduction, I started pointing out the topics that I would compare between these two organizations. Then my second and third paragraph are the history of guerrillas and the drug cartels. I started talking about their origins and pointing out the differences that exist between them. After that, I made two paragraphs talking about how these militias are financed. How do they keep earning money and how do they do it? And also, these paragraphs talked a little bit about what these organizations fight for. If they just maintain themselves as businesses or if they have sort of a social or political cause to defend and to stand for, which causes them to be violent. And after all of the other paragraphs, my conclusion made sort of a gathering of all the topics that I talked before and just made the conclusion that these two organizations can be sometimes thought as the same thing, but they're actually very different things. And I chose this topic because, well, first I was really trying to find something that I could compare to things that I could compare. And then I wanted to compare to things that people would probably confused with one another, meaning that they would think that two things are actually the same thing when they're not. That's what I wanted to compare, and that's pretty much how this topic of the drug cartels and guerrillas came to mind. And so I decided to make it. And while I was writing the essay, I just kept finding it more interesting and actually liked the topic that I chose. My bibliography sources. Um, First, two of my sources are found or were found through academic Google. I used this tool because I wanted to make sure that the information about the history of these organizations was accurate, was correct. So I chose a college report, I chose a newspaper article, and my third source was a from a Mexican magazine that talked about drug dealers and drug cartels and so on. I used them because I found them interesting. I found them accurate. They were all signed by the author. They were from official and respectable companies, meaning colleges, newspaper, or a known magazine. That's why I use them, and I think they're pretty good actually. I learned first that writing in English it's probably not that different than writing in Spanish actually, and meaning I'm referring to the structure of the essay. And I used to write these kind of essays when I was in high school, in Spanish, of course, and they were uh, pretty much the same on structure. And then Well, about the topic, I learned a lot of things. I didn't know anything about the origins of the cartels or the guerrillas. And I also found some interesting things about the what is going on right now nowadays with these organizations that I haven't known, and I believe I wouldn't have known ever if it weren't for my paper. So that's what I learned. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you liked my essay, and please give me some comments so I can improve my delivery. Thank you so much. Have a good day.